for the day 2, we will be talking about network, okay, secure enterprise network architecture. We will be talking about network security capabilities, also application security capabilities, incident response monitoring concepts, and also indicator of malicious activity. Okay, so this is what a topic we will be. So before starting the session, like if I tell you what is VPN, so VPN is virtual private network, right? But there is a question I have. So we have two things, okay? We have proxy and we have VPN. So what do you think? What is the difference between these two, proxy and VPN? So the difference, what difference you can, one difference if you can spout, like tell me about, has a encryption. Okay, a strong encryption is there in the VPN, which is not there in proxy. Proxy won't do the encryption. Proxy will only like both, what both will do, they will hide your IPs. Okay, but one will give you encryption, the other one won't. So proxy, in proxy won't be there will be no encryption in proxy, but in VPN there will be encryption. Okay, so now if we talk about VPN, the difference between VPN is what? VPN is a secure encrypted connection that allow you to send receive data privately over a internet. Okay, so that means your device will connect directly to the private network. How? VPN connects a tunnel. Okay, VPN create a private tunnel through a public network, which helps keeping your data safe, hidden and encrypted. So when VPN, what it does, VPN encrypt your internet traffic. That means it prevent hackers or internet service provider or even government from seeing your activity. And also VPN makes it marks your IP, like it will hide your IP. Okay, it will appear like if you are browsing from a different location or country, and obviously you can bypass this also, like geo restriction. No geo restriction is there in the VPN. Also VPN can be used, you can use VPN in for securing your public Wi-Fi, like if you are using uh, some unsecure network like in the airports or in coffee shops, you can use VPN for that. Okay, so that is VPN. So now we have types of VPN also. Okay, so we have remote access VPN is there. So this one is used by individuals to connect to private network. We have site to site as well. So this site to site VPN will connect entire networks. Like let's say branch offices to headquarter, like that. We have client to based VPN, which are installed. These are installed app on devices. Okay, so these are the few types of VPN we have. So imagine VPN like a tunnel. Okay, tunnel is there and it is whatever is going through that tunnel, everything is getting encrypted in VPN. Okay, so now when we talk about VPN, we have this IPSec. Okay, internet protocol security, it is a protocol we have. It's a secure protocol. Okay, and we are, because of this protocol, it provide the security in the VPN. So we have inside it, we have this authentication header. We have this encapsulating security uh, payload. We have this internet key exchange, and we have security association. So when we talk about authentication header, so what authentication header does, it has a purpose that it provide data integrity and authentication to the IP packets. Okay, means two things is there in the data authentication. One, data integrity, and second thing is authentication. Okay, how it is used, we will be talking about it later. So authentication header, it does not encrypt the data. Okay, means there is no confidentiality, but it has data integrity and authenticity. So where it can be used in a communication, okay, like in a internal networks it can be used, because there you don't need encryption. So there authentication header can be used. Then we have this ESP, encapsulating security payload. So this one, okay, it provide everything, like integrity is also there, authenticity is also there, authentication is also there, and one more thing is there which was missing in authentication header, that is encryption. That means it's provide encryption, data integrity, authentication. And this is the most commonly used IPsec protocol we have. It can be used with or without authentication header, right? But it often replaces authentication header in practice because it does more. Authentication header is only doing encryption, integrity and authentication, data integrity and authentication, but this one is providing encryption also. So that's why it's more secure. So when we use VPN to encrypt the traffic, so there we use it. Because in the encryption, what happened in the tunnel, we are using the tunnel because encryption is happening there. So that's why we are using here. Okay. Then we have this, these are the protocols. Okay. These two things are there for data. Then we have this internet key exchange as well. This one. So what it does, it's like a protocol because of which secure key exchange happen between the devices for secure communications. Okay. So you can think it as a handshake. Like when we talk about even communication in a certificate also, HTTPS also, TCP handshakes are there. Before a communication start, a handshake happens. Okay, it's like two devices are, before starting a communication between two devices, they have a handshake. Okay, different handshakes are there. So this internet key exchange is also a handshake in VPN. It establishes a secure key exchange between two devices before a communication start. So this internet key exchange, it take care of cryptography algorithms and the authentication method, what method you are using for having a secure communication before starting a secure communication. And also this SA is also related in it, security association. So think it as a handshake. Okay. Then we have this security association. This is what, this is like a set of rules parameter that define how two devices will communicate means it is the one which select the encryption algorithm, it is the one which select the hashing algorithms, keys and lifetimes everything. Okay, like when we talk about encryption, encryption is what, when you convert a plain text into cipher text, but encryption also work with algorithms. Okay, different algorithms are there in encryption. We have AES, we have DES, RSA, different algorithms are there. Same way for hashing also we have different algorithms, right? So these algorithms are selected by the security association. So how it works in this IPsec together? Okay, this internet key exchange, it set up the tunnel and negotiate keys and security setting. And these settings, like where what keys will be used, what hashing algorithms will be used, it will be it these things are stored in this security association. And then traffic is protected. The actual traffic is protected using authentication header and ESP, AH and ESP. So this is how they all work together, as you can see here in this diagram. Transport tunnel. These are the modes we have. Okay. So wherever you see these protocol, just know AH, authentication header, have data integrity and authentication, but it does not have encryption. Okay. So where we use it? We use it for host to host connection. over trusted but monitor network. There we use authentication header. Then we have this encapsulating security payload, ESP. So here we have data confidentiality as well as integrity and authentication. So where you use it? You use it for this internet protocol securities VPN, like client to site to site, for having a secure internet tunnels between two router or firewall. There we use it, this protocol. And this internet key exchange is used for secure negotiating channel, like you have to make establish you want to establish a secure channel before the actual communication begin, so you use this for that. And this security association is the one which store and apply cryptography parameters for the secure sessions, like it take care of encryption protocols, hashing and all protocols, all these things. So they all work together for making the data secure, encrypt decrypt traffic across the VPN tunnel. No, it is the one which do it, like it's like we have PKI. Okay, same way for VPN, this is the one which is taking care of keys and everything. Okay, so just know these things, that when we talk about VPN, okay, we have this internet protocol security, and inside it we have these protocols. So these all work together to make your VPN secure. They are the one, just imagine it like that, they are the army who are working in VPN and making your data secure, encrypted, and whatever happening, like key exchange, everything is happening, it is happening because of these things. So you just have to focus on authentication header, ESP. Main, you should have main focus here. Okay, how encryption is working, how VPN is working, this is how this with the help of these protocol it's working. So these are the protocol we have for VPNs. Just think it like that. Okay, now when we have VPNs, we have two modes with which VPN work. Okay, one is transport mode, one is tunnel mode. Two modes are there. So why I exchange this protocol? Because it depend on these modes also. Okay, so transport mode is there. You can see in this diagram that this is one client, this is two client, and this is the internet. This is transport mode. Okay, here one gateway, two gateways there, and a tunnel mode is there. That means transport mode is the one where only the data will encrypt. Okay, data means payload will be encrypting. Rest nothing will encrypt. Like your header will be visible. In the tunnel mode, what happened? This is your data. Okay, let's say this is the IP we have. Okay, here we have IP header, IP is there, and you have here your some payload is there. So what happened in the transport layer? Only the payload will be encrypted, and IP header will remain same. Like nothing will happen in the IP header. Okay, but when we talk about VPN, what we say is that IP will be encrypted, like it will hide your IP won't be visible in the VPN, right? Your IP will be hidden, and a different IP will be seen. Okay, that's why we say it's hide your identity. That's why we are using VPN, right? So no one, internet service provider, anyone will not know what is your original IP, because VPN is hiding it. So what happened in the transport mode? Only your payload is encrypted. That means your IP will remain same. IP will not be encrypted. If your IP is, let's say, this one, so it will remain like this only. That is transport mode. Original IP header will remain in inact and visible to router. So where it use? It use in end-to-end communication between two hosts. Okay, there it's using. We are using it to we are using commonly it in host to host VPN, or when apps or services on two endpoints communicate directly. There we use this transport mode. Like let's say there is a server in headquarter, it talks directly to the server in a branch office using IPsec. Okay, directly. So here you can use, that is transport mode. Only payload is encrypted, but IP will be inactive. On the other hand, in the tunnel mode, what happened? Everything will be encrypted. Payload also, IP also, everything will be encrypted. And it will encrypt the entire IP packet, everything, header as well and payload as well. And now it will do what? Like this is your IP and this is your payload. Okay, everything will be encrypted. Now it will attach a new IP here. New header will be attached with a new IP. So whenever you are having network to network communication, there you are using this tunnel mode, site to site VPNs, client to site VPNs. When a remote user connect to a corporate network, there you are using tunnel mode. That this is what tunnel mode is. Because here the entire original packet is hidden from anyone on the public network. That's why it is more secure than transport mode for external communications. So there are two there is a company, okay, it has two branch offices. So now they will create this VPN tunnel between them, where everything is encrypted and a new header is attached. That is tunnel mode. In transport mode, only payload is encrypted, but IP will remain same. IP header, there will be no IP header. That is transport mode. So where we use transport mode and where we use tunnel mode. So transport mode is efficient. Okay, so used for internal or direct host to host secure communication. There we are using transport mode, and tunnel mode is more secure, and that's why we are using tunnel mode for VPNs and also for communication across untrusted networks. And tunnel mode is the one which used in VPNs, where all the traffic between two networks is encrypted and hidden, anonymous, right? Even the source IP, destinations IP are hidden from the attacker on the internet. So that's why we say it's tunnel mode, because new IP header will be attached. And transport mode is used in secure internal communication between two specific host. So that is the difference between these two. Okay. And uh depend, like mostly we are using this ESP when we talk about encrypting. So we will be using this ESP protocol here. Okay, commonly it is used. But for encryption, for protocol, we have one AH and ESP. So here we are going to use ESP because we are talking about if we want confidentiality also, because authentication header don't have confidentiality. So that's why ESP is more preferred. So this is what VPN, this is how VPN works. Now we have a question. Okay. So the question says, our company has employees working remotely who need to securely access internet company resources to perform their task. Which of the following solution best meets this requirement? So it is virtual private network. C. C is the one which is most commonly used. Okay. Proxy server? No, it won't be used. Proxy is like proxy server forward traffic but does not create an encrypted tunnel or grant full internet access. Right? So it won't be used. Next generation firewall is what? It's a firewall, it's just add it's a firewall which do deep packet inspection, intrusion preventions, but it's like a parameter protection device, not a tool, or it won't grant you a remote access, right? Security zones are what? Security zones is like a network segmentation. You are doing network segmentations. You are segmenting the network between DMZ, internal, external zones. So it will help isolate traffic internally, but it doesn't enable secure remote access. So that's why the correct answer is VPN, which is providing you a privacy, integrity, and access control, everything, and connecting you securely to the network. So VPN is the correct answer here. Option C is the correct answer. Then we have another question which says, which two main protocols are used by IPSec for securing communication? So we are talking about IPSec. So IPSec work with these two protocols, which we discussed just now. Correct. Option B. Right. So this is the one, right? SHA AES. This is a algorithm for hashing. This is algorithm for encryption. TCP UDP. These are the protocol for transport layer for communication. Okay. SSL TLS. These are another protocols which we use for in our digital certificates for secure communication, like HTTPS. We are having encryption because of these. So correct answer is option B here. Okay, TCP UDP is not in internet. This IPsec, no, these are not. Yes, these are protocol we are using for communication purpose, right? But these are not the one here. So option B is the correct answer. Yes. Now we have a question which says, in which mode does IPsec encrypt only the payload of the IP packet and not the header? So only payload is getting encrypted in transport mode. And in tunnel mode, everything is getting encrypted. And a new header is getting attached to the packet. And that's why tunnel mode is used in the VPN whenever we are connecting two networks. Okay, there we are using tunnel mode. So transport mode is the correct answer here. Okay. Why other modes are not correct? This net mode. It's not an IPsec mode. Net is what? Net is related to what? Net is network address translation. Okay, net is network address translation. It is actually converting your private IP into your public IP. This is net. Okay, and the other one is encapsulation modes. Obviously, it is uh, not any like it is a different thing. It's a protocol. So yeah, so this won't be the correct answer. So option C is the correct answer here. Okay, so this is what about the VPN we have. Now let's talk about Wi-Fi, wireless encryption. Okay, so when we use Wi-Fi, have you ever like if you check your Wi-Fi in your phone, if every one of you check, it must be something like encryption, something would be written like this in your phone. If you are at your home, like this, something like this would be there. If you check, just take your phone, check the Wi-Fi, and you will find this thing. Okay, so these are what? These are the, yeah, you must have checked. Like if you all guys you try, if you check it, you will see this thing, right? So now we will be talking about Wi-Fi. So before talking about these uh, protocols, let's talk about Wi-Fi a bit. So for Wi-Fi is what? Wi-Fi is like wireless fidelity, right? It is here we are using wireless, like radio frequency signals we are using, which will help us connect to a wireless local area network, right? Like a wireless router. And this Wi-Fi, they work with a standard, okay, which is IEEE 08211 standard. And with time, okay, there are different standards we have. So we have 802.11a, 802.b, okay, 802.11 g, 80.11n, and this is for Wi-Fi 4. We have AC, it is for Wi-Fi 5. We have AX Wi-Fi 6. So they are what? They are the one like they provide a different frequency, different speed range and all in the Wi-Fi. Okay. So if, and yeah, we have different frequency band also in the Wi-Fi. 2.4 gigahertz, 5 gigahertz and all. These things are there, right? And if I'll just show you, like as you have seen in your device that you are using WPA2, these are the protocols we have. Like we have wireless protocol. So what we have to do, we want to protect this internet, right? That's why we have this WEP, WPA, WPA2, WP3. Okay. So these are the wireless protocol we have to protect our Wi-Fi, because here we are talking about protection. So now we will talk about these Wi-Fi. Different Wi-Fi's are there. Currently, I haven't seen your devices, but I can say that you must be using, if you're at your home, you must be using WPA2 personal. Okay. So WPA personal, as you are using it currently, so you can say yes, it is secure. And the most strongest one is WPA3. This is the most strong. Okay, this protocol. Normally, if you want to see in your, let's say, in your system, that what how you can check about your like profile and anything like VLAN profile, your wireless network profile. So for that, if I'll show you, see in the CMD, we can check. So these are the radio types. Okay. So these are the types which are supported in my drives, in my system. So you can say B, A, G, N, A, C, A, X, all are supported here. Okay. Um, these are the protocols which are supported here. So WPA2 enterprise, WPA2 personal, and WP3 personal is also supported. WPA enterprise, all these are the protocols which are supported in my drives. Okay. And yeah, it is about the service and all. So they are talking about my drive here, drivers, VLAN drivers. Now, if I want to see, let's say, if I try this one, let I try something else. So these are the names you can see here, something. So these are what? These are the profiles I previously got connected. I was previously connected to these Wi-Fi's. So these are the profiles we have. Okay. And if you want to see currently what profile, like what is the network and SSD and all I'm connected to, what is the quality of my network and anything. So I can see it like this. So this is currently the profile of my network. Signal is there, radio type is there, BSSID is there, MAC address is there, everything is present here about my Wi-Fi. And you can see here authentication. So I'm using this WPA2 personal authentication. Okay. So as I already mentioned, WPA2 is strong, right? It's not very strong, But yes, okay, yeah, sure. I'll paste these commands in the chat box so you guys can try. Give me a second. Yeah, so you can try it in your systems and you can see what you're using. And this is a strength. Okay, so like this you can check in your Wi-Fi. Okay, so uh now let's talk about these protocols. Okay, like what I'm talking about. And yeah, in your if you can also do one thing, like you can also check one more thing I want to show you in the CMD. Like here one more command is there, IPSec, ipconfig all, and here you can check everything about your network, about your connection, about the Wi-Fi connection, DSCP, DNS, everything. Full detail you can get. Okay, so I'll paste this command as well so that you guys can try it. Okay, now let's talk about this wireless protocols one by one. So we have this WEP. So this WEP is a wired equivalent privacy, okay, and it was introduced in 1997, and it is the uh, that time 1997 it was a security protocol for wireless network, okay, but if we talk about now, it is not, okay, although it aimed to offer confidentiality, but it has significant vulnerabilities, and the algorithm, like the encryption algorithm which it was using was RC4, okay, which is actually very weak algorithm. Okay, this was algorithm was used here, and it has no key management. Okay, VEP does not provide a secure key management system, so all devices were sharing the same static key, and changing the key require manual configuration across networks. That's why it was not very secure, and this encryption, this algorithm is very weak. Okay, it's vulnerable to several cryptography attack, and our tools are there, like once enough packet are in, like they can they can be cracked easily. So there is a tool, okay, for Wi-Fi crack, that is air crack ng. So using it can easily cracked, and it does not provide protection against attacks. Okay, it's like the where like attacker can capture retransfer data packets to disturb the network. It was there, it was easily cracked, right? So that's why currently we no longer use it. You won't see WEP, okay, because it has lots of vulnerabilities. So vulnerable to several cryptography attack due to weak initialization vector and key management issues. So we don't use it. Now, after this, after WEP, another one protocol came, which is WPA, Wi-Fi protected access. Okay, this is the second one. It was introduced in 2003, and it came like it was like a response to our critical vulnerabilities which was there in WEP. So that's why WPA was designed to provide a stronger and more secure encryptions. Okay, and the encryption algorithm it was using was TKIP, Temporal Key Integrity Protocol. Okay, so this was used here, but still, it was weak, right? It was, you can say, it was stronger than RC4, yes, but yes, it was weak because it was not like the packet can be altered here, and it was not guaranteed for that. Okay, yes, but compared to WEP, it has improved key management. Okay, it was ensuring that encryption keys are not static, they are regularly updated, right? They were having dynamic approach to key management. That's why WPA is significantly more secure than WEP. And they has these two mode was implemented here, that one more this mode was WPA PSK, okay, and WPA enterprise. These mode was introduced from here. So PSK is pre-shared one, like the one we are using in home. Okay, where we have a password, and that password is shared among people, right? And WP Enterprise is there. It is used for enterprise environment, and it was using a separate server for authentication, that is radius authentication. And this mode provide more secure and individual authentications. Okay, but yes, it has weaknesses. It was this TKIP was weak, right? Still it has vulnerabilities, and it could allow an attack to perform limited attacks to it, like they can do the packet injections. Okay, brute force attack was very common here, password attack. Okay, so that's why after this WPA2 was implemented, right, which we are using currently also. So WPA2 was introduced in 2004. Okay, and it has a strong encryption, that is advanced encryption standard, AES, with CCPM. So unlike WPA which was using weak encryption, WPA introduced with advanced encryption standard algorithm. It is more secure than TKIP and is used in various government enterprise application for sensitive data transfer. And it has this CCPM counter mode with cipher block chaining message authentication code protocol, and it is used as this WPA uses this as its encryption mechanism. So CCMP, it is built in on top of AES and provide data confidentiality, integrity, authentication. That's why the CCM MP is much stronger than previous WPA TKIP. Okay, and it has personal mode and enterprise mode, both. Okay, it's like for businesses, enterprise mode is there. Okay, it require radius server for authentication, right? And for personal mode, we have like in the small offices or homes where we are using pre-shared keys like password or passphrases to access the uh, Wi-Fi. And it has a key management also. So in WPA2, dynamic session keys are generated for each user and device, and then they are encrypting keys. They ensure that the encryption keys are unique to each connections, and the encryption key management is there. That was good. But yes, in 2017, a attack was found here. That is key reinstallation attack. So this vulnerability allow attackers to intercept and decrypt communication between the devices and a router. Okay, so this attack was introduced, but yes, this attack was serious, but it was mitigated. It was mitigated with firmware updates. Whatever devices were affected, they were get updated. Patch was there. So soon this vulnerability was closed. And here, no forward secrecy was there. Is there? No forward secrecy is there. Secrecy means if, like, let's say if you're in the encryption, your key is compromised. Okay, attacker can decrypt your past communication also. That was forward secrecy. So that this forward secrecy is not here in WPA2. Okay, so now it came like we have WPA3. So this is a mitigation for WPA2. And this attack, remember this attack, because people may ask you that which attack was there in WPA2. So this one is the one. Okay, WPA slide. Yeah, it's here. We came up with WPA3. Okay, so WPA3 is more strong. Okay, it has forward secrecy as we already talked about, and WPA3 introduced in 2018. Okay, and currently it is the most strong one. Like WPA3 aims to provide stronger security. Okay, and whatever vulnerabilities was there, which was found in earlier protocols, they keep like WPA3 have keep that things in mind. Okay, it has forward secrecy, means in case the keys are compromised, the previous communication won't be encrypted. Okay, like every time whenever a communication is happening, every time a key is generating, and that key is finish with the communications. Okay, so previous data won't be encrypted, and it has a better security. Why? Because it has this SAE, simultaneous authentication of equals, was introduced. So WPA3 uses this SAE as its key establishment protocol. So it's replacing the pre-shared key, okay, method, which is uh, there. So this SAE is more secure way of authenticating user, providing better resistance against offline direct dictionary attacks. So dictionary is also password based attack. So it is protecting that. Okay. It has a stronger encryption in it, and forward secrecy is there. Forward secrecy is there. Okay. Now, if we talk about security, so it has better security, right? Stronger encryption is there, forward secrecy is there, improved security for open network is also there. Like it has OWE. Okay, that means it has a robust security network feature, providing better protection against network attacks. So this thing is present in WPA3. And yeah, so these are the things which was introduced here. It has stronger authentication, offline dictionary attack protection is there, open security networks are there. So this is the that's what currently WPA3 is the best protocol we have. Okay, so if anybody will ask you which is the strongest one, so you have to close your eyes and you have to say WPA3 is the strongest. Although we are not using it, you can see in your devices also. If you check your router, WPA2 is what we are using currently. The reason is it have a bit adaptation and compatibility. Like one of the main challenge we have this with WPA3 is that it's slow adoption rate. Okay, many older devices and router are there who does not support WPA3. That's why it's somehow limiting its widespread. Okay, devices that only support WPA2 cannot take advantage of WPA3. Okay, and uh, early implementation of WPA3 experience some vulnerabilities. Like there is an attack called dragon blood attack. Okay, I write here dragon blood attack. Okay, which target this SAE protocol. While these vulnerabilities have been addressed in updates, but yes, somehow it highlight the need for ongoing vigilant and updates in wireless security. Okay, so this is WPA3. So we have these four protocols: WEP, WPA2, WPA, and WPA3. Okay, now let's see few questions. So we have the first question here, which says a cybersecurity analyst is investigating unusual traffic pattern on an corporate Wi-Fi network. They discover that an attacker within range has exploited a vulnerability in the WPA2 handshake process, allow them to intercept, decrypt sensitive data like email and credentials. So which of the following is best describe this attack by the adversary? So correct option B is the correct answer here, right? And if we see this evil twin attack, okay, this is also a Wi-Fi attack, but it is talking about setting up a fake Wi-Fi access point with the same SSID to trick the user. Okay, then we have this rogue access point. So it's about unauthorized. It is talking about unauthorized access point connected to the network, and we have this DNS spoofing. So it is about redirecting DNS queries to malicious site, but does not affect WPA2 directly. Okay, so correct answer is option B here. Now we have next question, which says an IT security specialist at a company is tasked with improving the security of the organization's wireless network to better protect data during transmission. To ensure strong encryption and prevent unauthorized access, the specialist examine different wireless encryption protocol. Which wireless encryption standard provide the highest level of security and is widely recommended for modern enterprise network? So as I already told you, if anybody will ask you the strongest, highest level of security, so you have to go for option A, Wi-Fi protected access, right? So option A is the correct answer here. Okay, now let's talk about a bit about protocols. Okay, so we have file transfer protocol. So here you can see FTP, FTPS, SFTP. Okay, so these are the file transfer protocol. We have FTP. What is the full form? Like I have already written the full form. Can you tell me at which port FTP work? So for FTP is 21. Okay, 21 port is there. For FTP, I'm talking about file transfer protocol. So FTP is one of the oldest and simplest method for transferring the file over a network. Okay, FTP use two channels for communication. So one is command channel, which is used for sending commands, and the data channel for transferring data. Okay, by default, they this operate over port 20 and 21, and FTP is not secure. If it's not secure, what it means? If I'm saying FTP is not secure, so if I'm talking about not secure, what is it? Not secure. Data is traveling in the plain text here. Okay, so it's not secure. That means whatever you're sending, your credentials, login credentials are sent in a plain text. That's why it will make it more vulnerable to intercept an interception and unauthorized access. Okay, so it is typically used in internal and non-sensitive environment. Okay, in internal network we use it. Then we have this SFTP, SSH file transfer protocol. This SFTP, okay, this is the one which work in TCP port 22. Okay, it provides secure file transfer by using SSH, secure shell protocol. So SFTP only require one connection over a single channel and it operate over port 22. Okay, which is same for SSH. SSH also operate on port number 22 and this one also operate on the port number 22. So here SFTP encrypt both data and authentication. So it ensures that the files and credentials are protected during transmission. And this SFTP can use various SSH authentication methods like passwords or SSH keys, right? And it is ideal for secure file transfers over untrusted network. And it is commonly used in environment where we need to handle data securely, like in the financial, healthcare sector and all. Then we have this FTPS. So FTPS means FTP secure, file transfer protocol secure. So this FTPS is an extension of FTP that adds support for your secure communication using SSL and TLS encryption. Okay, so here we are having encryption. So we have implicit FTP, FTPS, and we have explicit. So the first one, implicit, it is what here encryption is required from the start to the start of the session. So it work in the port 990. Okay, and the second one, the client request encryption before any data is transmitted. Okay, so that is the difference. And this FTPS encrypt both command and channel data channel using this SSL and TLS protecting data and credentials. And FTPS can use certificate to authenticate the server of the client and optionally the client of the server as well. Where it is used, it is often used in application which are needing compliance with specific security, like we have PCI DSS, payment card industry data secure standard. See, PCI DSS is what? It is a regulation which actually payment card industry, data security standard. So it is the one which is taking care of our credit card data, right? Money related things. So this is a standard. We take care of our credit cards, our credit card information, debit card, credit cards, their personal informations, right? So whoever, like there is any organization who are dealing with our money payments, they have to use this compliance. Okay, it says that they have to protect the data, like credit card details, card details of people, of their customers. Okay, that is PCI DSS. So we have lots and lots of regulations, compliance, a different field is there for that. Okay, where we talk about these things, regulation, compliance, standards, and all. Okay, so this is what these three are: file transfer protocol. So we are using them for transferring file between computer and over the network. Okay, and yeah, these are the one we have. After this, when we talk about file transfer protocol, let's talk about email services also. Okay, so whenever we send any email, actually we are using this simple mail transfer protocol. Okay, for sending the email, only to send. Okay, not to retrieve. So this FMTP, or simple mail transfer protocol, is what? This is the protocol which is used to send email across network. Okay, so it is the one which handle the transfer of email from sender's mail server to the recipient mail server. You can see here. Okay, so it is the one, but it is not there to, yes, let's talk about the protocol here. Okay, so this is the simple, like whenever we have to start, like let's say whenever we have to send an email, so the user will compose email. Okay, like in a outlook, Gmail, or anywhere, he will write his email, and he will, as soon as he will hit the send button, the email client uses this FTP to prepare the email for transmission to the recipient server. Okay, so now the email client will connect to FMTP server, and they are using ports there. And what ports are used here? Port 25, which is not secure. Okay, port 587 or 467, they are the one who are secure. Okay, they are the one who are secure and encrypted connection they create, right? And then the data will reach from sender's server to recipient servers. Okay, as I already mentioned, they are only used for sending the email. Okay, if you want to retrieve the email, like recipient, let's say recipient mail server store the email, only till store it will work SMTP. To retrieve the email, SMMP won't work, because it is about simple mail transfer protocol. It is just transferring the email, right? It is not uh, talking about receiving back, like taking your email. So for retrieving, we have another protocol, that is POP3 and IMAP. These are the one. So they are the protocol used by email client to retrieve messages from a mail server. But both have different functionalities. Okay, both are using same thing, but functionality is different in both. So POP3, this one, first one, it is Post Office Protocol 3. POP3 is designed for simple offline access to email messages. Okay, so when a client connect to the server using POP3, it typically download the entire email to the device and then delete it from the server by default. Okay, so it is best used for single device access where local storage is preferred, like let's say in your personal computer. An advantage of this POP3 is that um, it can be used to have this offline access after downloading the email. You can have the offline access also, but disadvantage is also is there, that as you change the device, you are not you won't able to see it, right? And the port which used here, okay, is 110 by default, which is not secure. Okay. And if we talk about secure encrypted connection, that is 995. This is encrypted. This is not encrypted. Then we have IMAP. So it is Internet Message Access Protocol. Okay. Here what happened? IMAP, it allow user to view and manage their email directly on the server, maintaining a consistent state across multiple devices. So when a client connect to the server using this IMAP, it retrieve a copy of the internet header, leaving the full message and any attachment on the server until it's accessed. So this allow for faster and more efficient email management. And email remain on the server by default, like any action is there, right? Leading reading, deleting, moving email are everything are across, can happen across all devices. Okay, so here the emails are stored on the server, right? And changes made on one device are reflected on the other devices as well. So that's why it we make it, it is ideal for accessing the same email account from multiple devices, right? So it is ideal for user who need access to their email across multiple devices like computer, smartphone, tablet, and all these things. Disadvantage for it is that it requires internet connection to access email, right? So this is a disadvantage, and I won't consider it a disadvantage, but yes, internet you need, you have some, you need internet. That's it. So here the port number is 143. 143, okay, which is not secure. By default, it use it. And for secure, we have 993. Okay, so these are the ports we have. This is about the simple mail transfer protocol. After this, like we are talking about email services, so let's talk about this SFPF DKIM DMKR. Okay, so here you can see this FPF pass with the IP, DKIM pass with domain infosectrain.com, and DMARC is pass. Okay, so this is what, whenever a message came to you, email, okay, and you click on that email and you find original. So there you will see at the end of that message these three things. Okay, now what is this? Let's discuss about it. So when we talk about this SPF, it is what? It is Sender Policy Framework. So the purpose of SPF is that SPF is an email validation protocol. Okay, it is designed to prevent scammers from sending messages on behalf of your domain. How this SPF work? So SPF allowed domain owner to specific which IP address are authorized to send email on behalf of their domain. So this information is stored in the domain's DNS record. So when an email server receives a message claiming to be from a specific domain, it checks the SPF record to confirm that the email is coming from the authorized IP or not. What is the benefit of this? It can help prevent spoofing, where attacker prevent to send email from a trusted domain, and that's why it can help in reducing scam and phishing risk. So spam messages are there which are stored in different files. Okay, so that can happen. Then we have this DKMI, domain key identified mail. This DKMI, it provides a way for email recipient to verify that an email message was intent sent by a domain it claims to be from. That is hasn't been altered in the transit. Okay, that is a domain key identifier. How it works? So DKMI works by attaching a digital signature. Like yesterday we were talking about digital signature. It will talk about non-repudiation. Okay, so this DKMI, it works by attaching digital signature to each outgoing email, which is creating using what? Private cryptography key. So when we talk about digital signature, whenever we send any email, our digital signature is sent along with it. And the digital signature is made how? it is made by the private key of sender. If I'm sending you an email, I will attach a digital signature with it with my private key. Okay, so here it is using. And now the corresponding public key is published in the domain DNS record. So when a recipient, okay, recipient's email server receive the email, it uses the public key of the sender to verify the digital signature, and it ensures that the message hasn't been tampered with. So we have this domain key identifier mail which verify the integrity of the message, ensuring that it has not been altered. So here how your email will verify that the digital signature, he is the one which verify the digital signature, and now he know that the message is authentic. So it helps build trust in the authenticity of the email. Okay, then we have this DMARC, domain based message authentication reporting and conformance. So this is a policy layer that build on SPF and DKMI, and it allow domain owner to specify how email receiver should handle message that fail this SPF or DKMI checks. Okay, so what happened here? Here the domain owner, they publish a DMARC record in their DNS setting, domain name system setting, specifying whether email failing this SPF or DKMI check should be quarantined, rejected, or accepted. And additionally, this DMRK also provide a reporting mechanism that send feedback to the domain owner about email that pass or fail the DMRKC checks, helping them identify and email address the issues. Right. So what is the benefit of it? The benefit is that it prevent domain spoofing by instructing email provider on how to handle messages that fail authentication, and it provide visibility into who is sending email on behalf of the domain. Right. So they work together, these three. So SPF, DKMI, they work individually to authenticate email by verifying the sender and also by ensuring the message integrity. Okay. Now this DMRK, DMARC, it combine both SPF and this DKMI results that allow domain owner to define rules on how to handle authenticated email and making the security better in order to protect it against phishing and spoofing. So these protocol, they work together to improve email security, protect against spam, phishing, spoofing, and ensure email authenticity. So whenever you get any email, okay, you can click on original, right? And you can check that whether you can check this SPF and DKMI. Okay. Uh, SPF to configure a sender side and DKMI receipt side. Both SPF and DKMI are actually configured on the sender side, not split between sender and recipient. Okay, SPF it configured by the sender, and also this DKMI also configured by the sender, domain owner. And recipient will verify both. When he get the message, he will verify SPF and DKMI. Okay. Okay, now we have this question which says a global banking organization's IT administrator is tasked with securing email communication between clients and server. Which of the following statements accurately describe secure implementation of email protocols? The question says a global banking organization IT administrator is tasked with securing email communication between client and server. Which of the following statements accurately describe secure implementation of email protocols? So you have to check the protocol number as well. Okay, this is the hint I'm giving. The correct answer is simple mail transfer protocol, secure. Okay, it's the most commonly used and reliable method to secure FMTP traffic, option A. And then we have Post Office Protocol 3 Secure uses TCP port 993 by default to provide secure access because we are talking about security. Okay, why not B and why not D? B is using port 465, which is recommended for secure message submissions, but here port 465 is used for implicit TLS, not for start TLS. Okay, for start TLS command, we use port 587. So it won't be the correct one. And IMAP is using this 143. So obviously this is not secure. 993 is secure. So that's why option D won't be correct answer. The correct statements are A and C. So A and C is correct here. Okay. Now let's move to the next question, which says the IT department at a university needs to securely transfer large files containing confidential financial information between two branch offices located in different cities. Which of the following protocol would provide the most secure, appropriate solution for their file transfer among all? So yes, every one of you are correct. That is, we are talking about file transfer. So option D is the correct answer. Okay. Now let's talk about uh, corrective control as well. Okay. So we have an incident. Okay. What is an incident? What is an event? So incident is what? Like event is what? When something is happening in the organization. Okay. Not organization, something which is happening normally, that is an event. Okay. And when that event goes wrong, then it become an incident. Organization is there. A malware attack happened in the organization. Okay. A ransomware entered in the organization because someone clicked on the phishing link. So it is a incident. We have an incident, that means malware entered in the organization. So incident happened, and that's why what we have a incident response team, IR team, incident response team. Okay. So here we have steps for an incident response team. A process is there. So here we have prepare, detection analysis, containment, eradication, recovery, post incident activities. So these are the incident response life cycle we have. Okay, because it is a corrective control. Yesterday we were talking about corrective control. So corrective control means when an incident happened, when something happened, then you are trying to control it. Why? Because you want to minimize the damage. So that's why we have this incident response team in the organization which work to correct the issue, the incident. Okay. So here we have preparation, detection, containment and all. So let's talk about this, what each step does. So preparation means be ready before an incident happen. Okay, that is preparation. You have to prepare everything. So here what you have to do, you have to create an incident response plan, you have to define team roles, communication workflow, install monitoring detection tools and all these things. Train the incident response team. Okay, so preparation will happen here. That is preparation team. Then we have detection and analysis. So here what happen if something like something malicious happen, Okay, so there you will detect it. So you will ensure in this field that every incident is properly logged and assigned to the right team and person. Like tools are there, they will capture the thing, so they will check it. Here analysis is there, means you have to, after that you have to prioritize the incident based on the severity impact. You have to check if it's a, if this is a false positive or not, if it's a critical uh, issue is not, if customer data is at risk or not. You have to analyze it, and then you have to prioritize it as well. You have to prioritize it as high, medium or low priority tagging. Okay, after that, containment comes. Containment means you have to stop the attack from spreading. So you have to disconnect affected machines. You have to block malicious IPs at the firewall, or you can change the passwords as well. So it's like you're isolating the system so that it won't spread. That is containment. Then we have eradication. So in the eradication, what happened? You will, there in the containment phase only, you will disconnect the things. You will also do like evidence gathering and forensic analysis, so you will understand what happened and preserve the digital evidence, the memory dumps, log analysis, chain of custody for legal purposes. So all these things will happen in the containment phase. After that, eradication is there. Eradication means you will remove the root cause of the attack. That means you are deleting the malware, you are patching the system, you are fixing exploited vulnerability. So that thing you will do in eradication. And then we have recovery. Recovery means you will restore the affected systems to normal. You re-image the system, restore backups. You will monitor for reinfection. So you will not take the system back to the working environment. You will wait a bit. You will reconnect it to the network when you find out that everything is clear. Okay, so this is what recovery phase is. And then we have this post incident activity, means you will learn from the incident to avoid future ones. You will create an incident report here, update response plan, conduct a post mortem meeting, like learned lesson. And the same report which you will make, that same report will be used by the team to have the training in the preparation phase for simulation and all. So the incident response process helps cybersecurity team respond quickly so that it can minimize the damage and prevent further attacks from happening. Just think of it like a emergency room protocol where you will detect, triage, treat and then improve. Okay, so this is how incident response team work. Now let's imagine that there is a scenario that a malware attack happen, a ransomware attack happen in a company. Okay, so preparation phase, what will happen in the preparation phase before the attack? The company will had an antivirus, EDR, email system, email filter, firewall, everything. They will define an incident response plan. Employee were getting training on the phishing awareness, backups was regularly created, everything happened. And then they detect it. Okay, detection happened. The help desk, the ticket is raised because they were able to they were unable to open a file. All extensions changed, is changed to logged, and a ransom note appeared, let's say. So now the SOC or IT support record the incident, and they will say that it's suspected malware attack happened, and they will assign it to the incident response team. Now incident response team will analyze it. Okay, they will see the malware is active or not, files are being encrypted, like SOC analyst. Okay, they will verify it. They will see that malware is active, the file are being encrypted in real time, everything, and then they will mark it as high priority. And then containment will happen, like they will immediate action will be taken. The infected systems are disconnected from the network, firewall rules are updated. Okay, they will share drives are taken offline temporarily. So all these things happen, they will try to stop the spread. That is containment. And now eradication, before eradication they will collect the evidence, like collect memory dump. Okay, identify the malware, find the entry points, a malicious Excel macro from a phishing email, like that. And then eradication will happen, means they will take the action, they will remove the malware using EDR tool. All affected endpoints are re-imaged, phishing email are purged from all inboxes. Okay, so eradication will happen. And then recovery means they will back up from the last clean, restore points are restored, affected services are tested for integrity, systems are monitored post recovery to ensure no reinfection is happening, right? And the last, we have the post incident. So post mortem meeting will help. There they will find out the root cause. Why it happened? It happened because phishing email bypassed the email filter. They will find out the gap, lack of sandboxing, weak email rules, improvement. What improvement they needed? They need to enable advanced threat protection, let's say. They have to conduct a phishing simulation training. So like that, post incident activities happen, and then they will update their incident response documentation. So this is how it happened when a, let's say, a malware attack happened in the organization. Okay, now we are talking about malware. So let's talk about SIEM as well, because we are talking about corrective things. So let's talk about SIEM. So SIEM is what? SIEM is security information and event management. Okay, it's what? It combine two functions: collecting and managing security information, and monitoring analysis. Both thing will happen. Like SIEM solution, you can say it's a corrective as well as detective control. Okay, so what it does, it focus on long-term storage, analysis, and reporting of security data, and it include everything like log file, configuration data, historical security incidents that help organization understand pattern. Also, it handle real-time monitoring as well. Okay, so it correlate its correlation of security events. It involve, like this involve detecting suspicious activities, generating alerts, enabling rapid response to potential threats. Okay, so what SIEM system does? SIEM system collect data from multiple sources across an organization IT infrastructure, from firewall, antivirus software, IDS, server, database, all. This data get normalized into a common format and is stored in a centralized repository. So the system then applies correlation rules and identify the pattern that might indicate security threats, like it might detect multiple failed attempts followed by a successful login from unusual location. So it could signal a brute force attack, right? So like this. And SIEM solution, the SIEM platform provide a centralized log management, real-time monitoring, and alerting, incident response, workflow, compliance reporting, forensic analysis capability, all these things. So they use various analytical techniques, including rule-based correlations, statistical analysis, increasingly, or like machine learning, and all these things will be happen here. Okay, so this is how SIEMs work. So SOC, Security Operations Center, teams use this SIEM as their primary tool for threat detection and response. Okay, analysts create custom correlation rules based on their organizations. IT team, IT team, they integrate SIEM with existing infrastructure monitoring tools to correlate security events with system performance issues. Management reporting. So they uses SIEM analyst to provide executive dashboard showing security metrics, incident trends, and risk assessment to support strategic decision making. Right. So that is SIEM. Uh, Now let's talk about a few questions here. Okay. So we have this question which says a cybersecurity analyst at a multinational corporation is handling data. And yes, for incident response, you have to remember the phases. Okay, because the question come from the phases. So the question is saying a cybersecurity analyst at a multinational corporation is handling a data breach involving sensitive customer and proprietary information. The incident response team is following the CompTIA incident response lifecycle and has just finished the third phase. So what should be the next immediate step? So containment is the correct answer. Right, first is preparation, detection, identification, analysis, containment, and then eradication, recovery, post incident response. post-incident activity. So containment is the correct answer, option D. Now we have another question which says a major financial organization has detected abnormal network behavior that points to a possible data breach. An attacker appeared to be exfiltrating large volumes of sensitive information over time, and the security team that believes the threat may come from an insider with deep understanding of the system vulnerabilities. Which two incident response steps are most critical for effectively addressing this target data exfiltration scenario? So you have to choose two. Okay, read again and tell me which will be the most uh, effective addressing this target data exfiltration scenario. So we have two, which is correct. So one is A, that is containment and eradication. So this is essential to immediately stop the ongoing data exfiltration and remove the insider threat from the environment. So containment limit further data loss, and eradication ensure the malicious actor access is completely removed. So option A is the correct answer. After that, we have to choose analysis and lesson learned. Option C. Since the attack appears sophisticated and possibly insider driven, so thorough analysis is critical to understand how the breach occurred and what data was taken and how to prevent reoccurrence. And that's why lesson learned is also there that will help the organization improve their future security control and response strategy. B and D are important in the overall life cycle but are less immediate relevant in the active phases of mitigation. A live ongoing data exfiltration. That's why detection and recovery, preparation and response won't be there. But yes, analysis and containment will be the essential one. Okay. Yes, preparation is the first step. See, they have just make confusion is there. Like they are combining preparation response. Confusion is there. Okay, detection recovery. They are adding two. But here, what we have to do, we have to analyze it. So that's the analysis. You have to focus on analysis and lesson learned. Preparation will be done, will be happen in the first phase. Response will obviously when you are doing the containment, so response will be there. So preparation and response won't be the correct answer. Detection and recovery. So this could be detection and recovery could be there, but they have already detected it. That's why they know that the thing is going on. Okay, this exfiltration is going on. They know because detection already happened. Now the most critical among it is analysis. You have to analyze and obviously you have to contain and eradicate. Analyze you have to do because you have to see how much is done, what extent the attack happened. That's why option C and B, A and C should be the answer here. Okay. So in the security plus, yes, you have to, when you answer it, you have to go through the question because when we see the options, many of the options seems correct. Okay, so in the security plus, what we have to do, we have to see the question again, and based on the questions, we have to correct the answer. Okay, this is something which happen in the CompTIA questions. We think that A is correct, A might be correct, but somehow they will answer would be D like that. So for that, you have to read the question very carefully and you have to try to understand what they are saying, and then you have to try to answer it. Okay. So that's why, because we can say that, yeah, I'm thinking B is correct or D is correct, but this is what happened in CompTIA. Okay. Okay. Now we have one more question. It says, in cybersecurity monitoring, which tool or concept provide a centralized and summarized view of data collected from multiple sources, Helping security team with daily incident response activity. So for that, I think answer is very clear and everyone can answer it at one go. That is SIEM, SIEM tool. Okay, security information and event tool. So option A is the correct answer here. Uh, Option B is network-based vulnerability scanner. So here we are talking about network-based vulnerability scanner, like we are talking about NISIS, OpenWest, okay, NICTO. So they identify security weakness in network systems. A NICTO is for web application. Okay, so NISIS you can say, OpenWest you can say. They use primarily for proactive risk. Then we have log file generated by application on host. So these, while these are the logs that are crucial for investigation. They are raw data, not tool. Then we have this host based IDS. So IDS monitor the activity. Okay, and then it will um, alert the uh, team, the security team, the administrator, but it is not a centralized thing which collect the data from multiple sources. No. So obviously option A is the correct answer. Okay. Now let's talk about the last topic for today, that is malware. And malware is what? Malware is a malicious software, okay, which is made to affect your system, either delete the data, exfiltration, anything. Okay. So malware, like viruses, worm, ransomware, spyware, they are what? They are the type of they are the type of malware. Okay, malware is a bigger category. Okay, one name, common name for all these types of malware. So virus is a type of malware, worm is a type of malware, trojan is a type of malware. Okay, different types of malware are there. Now let's talk about these malware one by one. So this malware classification is there: viruses, worm, trojan, potentially unwanted program, fileless malware, rootkit, remote access trojan, adware, keylogger, spyware, ransomware, crypto malware, logic bombs. Okay, these are the malware classifications. So when we talk about virus are what? Virus are malicious code that attach itself to a legitimate program or file, and they spread when those infected files are executed or shared. So it's something which need human intervention, right? So they require host file to survive and typically damage or corrupt data on infected systems, and a human intervention needed for that. On the other hand, when we talk about worms are what? Worms are self-replicating malware. It don't need human intervention and it can spread across network without requiring any host file or interaction. Right. So they exploit network vulnerabilities to propagate automatically from one system to another. And they often consume network bandwidth and system resources. That is worm. Then we have this Trojan. So Trojan is what? Trojan disguise themselves as a legitimate software, but it contain hidden malicious functionality. And the name, named after the Trojan horse, they trick user into installing them by appearing harmless while secretly providing unauthorized access to attacker. Okay. Then we have this spyware, or I can say it's surveillance and data theft malware. So spyware is there. Okay, spyware, what it does, it secretly monitor user activity, collecting personal information, browsing habits, key stocks, or other sensitive data without the user's knowledge. So this information is then transmitted to remote attacker for identity theft or other malicious purpose. Then we have this keylogger. So keylogger specifically record key stocks, which is made by users, capturing the passwords, capturing credit card number, personal messages, and other sensitive information which are typed on the infected device. So they can be software based or hardware based. Okay, keyloggers. Then we also have this adware. Adware is what? Adware display unwanted advertisement and often redirect web browsing to generate revenue for attackers. So while sometimes considered less harmful, but it can slow your system performance and compromise user privacy. Then we have this rat, remote access trojan. So this rat, it provide attacker with complete remote control over infected system. And once a rat is inside in your system, they can allow cyber criminals to access files, even activate cameras, activate microphones, install additional malware, and use the compromised system for further attacks. They can use your system as DOS as well, right? Then we have this rootkit. So this rootkit is what? Rootkit, it operate at a deep system level. Okay, often at the kernel or firmware level, and they can hide their presence and maintain a persistent access. So these rootkits, they are designed to remain undetected by security software while providing ongoing system access to attackers. Okay, that's why they can be in a category of APTs, advanced persistent threats. Okay, then we have this ransomware. So ransomware is related with what? Related with financial, right? So ransomware, they will, like, these are what they encrypt victim files or lock system access, demand payment. They are demanding payment, and usually that payment is in cryptocurrency for decryption key. So it has become one of the most financially damaging type of malware for organization and individuals. Okay, then we have this crypto malware. So crypto malware specifically focus on cryptocurrency theft, or you can say they focus on unauthorized mining using victims' resources. So this include what? This include crypto miners that use system resources to mine cryptocurrency, or attackers and wallet stealers that target cryptocurrency holdings. Okay, then we have this PUP, potentially unwanted program. So this is what? PUPs are software that may be explicitly malicious, may not be, but what happen? They exhibit unwanted behavior, like excessive advertising will be there, data collection, or system performance degradation. So they often come burdened with legitimate software installation. So you're installing it, and something unwanted will install along with that. That is PUP. Then we have this fileless malware. So fileless malware operate entirely in system memory. Okay, without writing files to disk, making it harder to detect using traditional signature based security tools. And it exploits legitimate system tools and processes to carry out malicious activity. That is fileless malware. And then we have the last one, which is logic bomb. So logic bomb are what? These are malicious code designed to execute when specific conditions are made. Okay, like specific condition are made, like let's say some particular date, time, or system event. Okay, so they will write the code in such a way, if a particular, like at particular time the logic bomb will activate it, so like that they will write it such a way. So they often remain dormant until their trigger conditions activate them to cause damage. They can cause damage, or they can do theft. Okay, so these are the malware classifications we have, and different malware do the different things. Okay, so next time whenever you see a world virus, know it that it is a type of malware. Okay, and these are the classifications we have for malware. Then let's talk a bit about TTPs as well. So we have this technique procedures. Okay, so TTPs are what? TTPs are the framework, like it's a framework structure approach which is used in cybersecurity to analyze, categorize adversaries' behavior. Okay, so it is like it provide you hierarchical way to understand how attacks are planned. So tactic is what? Tactic is a overall goal or technical objective behind an attack. That is tactic. Tactic means the why. Okay, tactic represents the highest level of adversary behavior, and answer the question, what is the attacker trying to do, like the motive, the goal of attacker is a tactic. So they describe the overall goal or technical objective behind an attack. Okay, like let's say tactic could be reconnaissance is a tactic. Reconnaissance means your information gathering you are doing about the victim. Okay, initial access is a tactic, like you are trying to gain entry to the network. Privilege accelerations is a tactic, means you are gaining higher level permissions in the system. So these are the tactic. Exfiltration means stealing data. This is a tactic. Okay, so it's the why. This is the tactic. Then we have technique. Technique means the methods and strategies used to engage in the attack. So tactic is or techniques are what? Techniques are the how. How. Okay. Like it describe the method and strategies used to achieve tactical objective. Whatever objective I had, how I'll achieve it, that is techniques. So the answer, like the answer, how does the attacker complete that goal, complete that tactic? And techniques are more specific than tactics and represent the actual approach. Okay, like spear phishing email for initial access. I'm sending you spear phishing emails. Okay, um, or I'm using network scanning. Okay, I'm doing network scanning for discovery to discover the open ports. Okay, so that is technique. Then we have procedures. Procedure means the tool process used to do that attack, like the what. Okay, procedures are the most granular level, describing the specific tools, processes, and step by step methods which are used to execute techniques. Okay, so they answer what exactly does the attacker do? And procedures are often unique to a specific threat actor. Okay, so let's say uh, you want to dump window credentials. So you are using a tool that is Mimicat. Okay, or you want to execute a specific PowerShell command to download malware, or using a specific file path or naming convention, right? So the specific process, what tools you will do in order to achieve that technique, that is a procedure. Okay, threat intelligence are there, security teams are there. They use these TTPs to profile threat actor and understand their preferred methods. So different adversary groups often have signature TTPs that help in their attribute. TTPs can be used like understanding these TTPs can help organization build better detection rules and defensive strategies. Rather than just looking for a specific malware signature, teams can detect the underlying techniques by seeing the TTP. We have a MITRE attack framework. Okay, the most widely used implementation of the TTPs concept, and it provide a compressive metrics of technique which are used by real world adversaries. Okay, so this is what this is we have for the TTPs. Now let's talk about attack, distributed denial of service. Yesterday we already discussed about it, that this is the boot master, these are the compromised computer which are botnet, and they are sending the traffic, okay, to the victim. So why we do the denial of service? Because we want to make the system unavailable, right? That is distributed denial of service. One more is there, that is reflected DOS attack, like reflected attack. So what is this reflected denial of service attack? You can see here, this is a malicious actor, okay, and this is the primary target he have. So what he will do, he will spoof his IP with victim's IP, and now he will send the he will what he will do, he will send the request to the these victims, and now reflected means victim will reflect, amplify the response back to the target. Okay, so actually what happened here, it is a type of amplification attack. Okay, where attacker exploit legitimate services or protocol. Legitimate services, I'm here what I'm talking about, I means NTP amplification, like network time protocol server, or LDAP amplification, like lightweight directory access protocol server. So these things he will be exploiting. Okay, and these services or protocol, they used to generate, like they generate a much larger volume of traffic which is directed at a victim than what the attacker originally sends. Okay, so this is reflected denial of service. So how reflected denial of service work? Now attacker will uh, use this the nature of certain network protocols and services. Attacker will send a small request to multiple immediately reflector, like immediately servers, okay, reflectors, and What he will do, he will spoof the source IP of it. It will make it appear that it is coming from the victim. And now the reflector will respond back with much larger replies that are sent directly to the victim. And because of it, what happened? Victim get overwhelmed by a amplified traffic volume. So that is reflected attack. So we have DNS amplification. Okay. So it exploit DNS server by sending a small DNS query that generate large response. So attacker typically query for DNS record like any or TXT and that produce a big response. Okay, NTP amplifier is there. So there the attacker abuse network time protocol server using a moon list command, which can amplify the traffic up to 555 56 times, and it will generate a like request, and it will go back to the victim. Okay, so this is how it's done. This is reflected attack. So attacker often use multiple reflectors simultaneously, which create a distributed reflected DOS attack that harder to mitigate. Okay, and the reflected traffic appear to come from a legitimate servers, making it difficult to distinguish from normal network traffic. And also, these attacks primarily aim to saturate the victim's internet connection or overwhelm their network infrastructure. Okay, so these are the reflected attack. Now let's again uh, do a question from this part. So here this question we have, which says an IT intern is tasked with setting up and connecting previously used laptops to the organization's network. However, upon connection, the network automatically blocks these devices from gaining access. So, which of the following could be most likely cause this issue? Select two best answers. Option A, malware. Okay, because if the used laptop are infected with malware, the organization security system might automatically block these devices to prevent potential threats from spreading. Okay, so option A is the answer. Then the other option is option, where's my pen? Yeah, C. That is incorrect local network setting. Misconfigured network settings like let's say wrong IP, subnet gateway or DNS configuration can prevent device from communicating properly with the network. Okay. So that's why option C and option A is the correct answer. Why B is incorrect? B is potentially unwanted program. While potentially unwanted program can affect system performance or introduce privacy issues, they are typically not severe enough on their own to trigger automatic network blocks unless they have a malware. Okay, and registry settings misconfiguration can affect system behavior but are less likely to directly cause network block unless they interfere with networking services. So this is not, these two is not one of the top two likely to cause these things. Okay, so option A and C is the answer here. Okay, now we have next question, which says the help desk has been flooded with reports from user who are facing extremely slow access to important files, and most users are struggling to log into their accounts. High resource usage and inability to access resources are common system of this type of attack. And every one of you are answering is correct. That is denial of service attack. That is option C. Correct, everyone. Okay.